everybody, and welcome to part 2 of Neva's 24-hour sprints with friends. How is everybody this morning?
Great.
I need a nap.
Need a nap already? Come on, Margaret. Normally full steam ahead. What's going on?
I've been awake for not quite 12 hours at this point. It's fine.
You could cut a nap, yeah. I suppose after 12 hours, you need a nap.
Yeah.
I like to nap. I love napping. It's my favourite pastime. Sleeping is obviously not my favourite pastime because that never happens, but napping does. So at this point in my life, I just nana nap lots. That way I get some sleep. What are we reading today?
I'm reading Keep Your Friends Close, which is my backlist arc for August that I didn't get to. I actually didn't think I would get to it, but I picked it up on a whim the other day, yesterday or the day before. I think yesterday. And I read like the prologue in the first chapter and I was like, oh, this is intriguing. Now I only have like 3 hours, like just under 3 hours left, so I'm just gonna finish it.
Awesome. What about you, Margaret? What are you reading today?
At some point, I'm finishing editing a video with the last 14 minutes to edit. I would like to finish or to read Jade City by Fonda Lee. This is the goal, is to get to where I can read this and hopefully have it finished by the end of the weekend or by the end of 24-hour sprints-ish. Something that resembles that. So
awesome.
We'll see.
I'm reading The Secret Garden. It's my fancy copy. It's very cute.
So pretty.
Yeah, it's a Penguin Puffin Penguin Random House UK.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Puffin books, and they have all the kids' classics done like this. I've got like Black Beauty and Treasure Island, Wizard of Oz, all that sort of stuff. I like it, so I thought I'd tackle that today. That will be my last prompt in the 9th. The 9 prompts. So yeah, I can for Pig Pongathon, and then I can move on to the 10, and get nothing read. Let's have a look and see who's joining us today. We've got Jean here. Hello, Jean. Hello, Courtney. Thank you for joining. We also have Atia as well. Hello. Glenda's here. Saluna is here. Hello. Yeah, long time no see, right? Click the like button. Thank you very much, Glenda. Sadia is also here as well. Lots of hellos. Hello, Christina. Chris is also here as well. Hello to everyone on the second leg of the race. It's a bit like that, isn't it? It's definitely a marathon, that's for sure. Also, Neva, I have to say thank you. I think it was you that that was talking about the Finch app.
Yeah, so Crystal is the one that brought it up. But then when I went to go find it, I was like, is this the one you're talking about? She was like, yeah. And I was like, oh, I had it downloaded. It's basically a Tamagotchi for self-care.
Okay, yep.
So I have a habit tracker app that I use for actual habits. And then I have my 75 Soft app that I'm using that. But for Finch, I specifically do self-care tasks. So like drink water, go outside, things like that. And you get like a little pet on your pet. What? Where you get a little pet and your pet like grows and goes on adventures and you like feed it. Like you do like basically when you fulfill your tasks, it grows your pet.
Ah.
So I'm glad that it's helping you.
That's awesome.
Go take your shoes.
At this stage, Selena, you need everything that you can help get you through everything you're going through. Christina's already start again. Okay. Try that sentence again. Remember to hydrate and like the hug button. Thank you. Sarah's also here as well. Thank you for being here. If anybody has Finch and wants to be a Finch Friends, DM me on Insta. There we go. Build a community. And hope everybody remembered to tuck before we rolled. Christina, you cracked me up. Oh, love it. Everybody's saying hello. I love all our friends have come together. Hello, Lily. Thank you for joining. A fun day of sprint hopping. Hi again to people I keep seeing. It's nice to have you here. I'll be reading The Wolf by a Gift by Anne Rice. I'm also reading Anne Rice as well, which is The Witching Hour.
Yeah.
100 pages into that, and I'm absolutely loving it. Nothing like getting a really old book and just falling into it. My doctor today convinced me to stay an hour afterward to help with an employee exam because he's everybody's work dad and can hardly work the computer. That's amazing that he's a doctor and he can hardly work the computer. That's wild. Hello, Jean and Neva and Margaret. How are you all? I had finished my nap and got 20% in my arc, October's Ocean. Nice. Making nice progress there, Jean. Not going to be reading right away. Got to do some setup and then I have a video to film. Nice. I have not filmed much this month. Hello, Jen. Thanks for joining. Appreciate you being here. That's a pretty cool copy. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with it too. I like these cloth-bound copies, but the only problem is I can't read them in summer. If your hands are sweaty, the stuff comes off the front.
Ooh, not cool.
Yeah, so okay, these are winter books, but I have like paperback copies and stuff of my classics, so I can pick them up. So yeah. Hey, Christy, how you going? Reading A Talent for Murder. Nice. Everybody's saying hello. Jessica, the book nerd is here. Hello, how are you?
Hello,
welcome. And we also have Alyssa here as well. Hello. I need to be better with self-care, and I love Tamagotchis. Well, sounds like a Finch might be the app for you, Atea. And with that, we have said good morning to absolutely everybody now, and we're ready for our first sprint. Look at us go. 2 days in a row being productive. What is going on Dusty Book Sniffers? This is not how it should be. Anyway, we're going to go to a sprint, and we'll see you all in an hour. Happy sprinting, everybody. Well, hello. We're back. How'd you go, Mark?
I finished editing the video and grabbed some thumbnails grabbed some screenshots for thumbnails. We'll see. I think this one's only to get like 1 or 2. I'm considering like retaking some of like the photos with me posed in front of signs in like the same shirt, but like without the mask. Because we were masked there. I'm like, people are going to see that and they're going to decide not to click because they're going to be like, yeah. So we'll see. We'll see. There might be 2 versions that go out of that thumbnail just since we have the thumbnail testing thing now. Just to see. But yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting, the thumbnail testing.
Yeah. It's only been useful a couple of times in helping me decide which thumbnail is better. I just don't get enough traffic most of the time, I guess.
How'd you go, Neva?
I read a couple more chapters, but I'm gonna have to probably take a shower in this sprint. Because even though I took a nap earlier, I'm starting to feel tired, and it's much too early for me to try to take a nap.
And how was it today not taking any antibiotics? Was it a good day?
Thank God, honestly. I didn't, because I forgot to throw away the bottle. And so, like, I came in here at one point after Ari went to school, and I was like, I feel like I'm forgetting to do something. Like, I was, like, standing in the kitchen. I was like, what am I forgetting to do? And then I realized, like, I had no antibiotics to take today because I've been taking antibiotics 4 times a day for the last 12 days.
12 days, yeah. And how are you feeling? But a lot better?
Yeah, I feel fine. I'm gonna have to make like a follow-up appointment with the doctor next week just because like that's what they told me to do.
Yeah.
But like I don't have any symptoms or anything anymore. Like I'm not in any pain. So
well, that's good.
I'm probably fine.
Well, still do your checkup.
I mean I will, but I'm probably still fine.
I got up to where she just found the garden. And yeah, I'm like, oh, I love this part. Anyway, I made myself some breakfast as well.
Okay, I will come check in a little bit.
How was Ari's first day at school?
Good. She did fine. I mean, here's the thing. I would have also done fine, except that she like went to get on the bus and she was the last person to get on the bus. And she like she turned around and she like looked at me like she was terrified, and I was like, you're gonna have a great day. And then like the bus pulled away and it like went around the corner, and then I proceeded to turn around because there was like another mom sitting there. First of all, I don't know the moms that like have their kids ride the bus. I don't try to be friends with them, so I like did not want to talk to this lady, so I like immediately started walking back towards my house, and I cried the whole like blocks back to my house. But it was fine. She was fine, honestly.
And she had a good day?
Yeah.
And so she's going to wake up tomorrow and go, I want to go to school?
Probably, even though she was like
that routine again where she cracks it.
I don't have school tomorrow, Mom. I think once they have like next week, they have a full week.
Yeah.
I think that's when why can't we go to school on the weekends is going to start, because it happens every year. Yeah.
I've always found it really odd that they start the school week at the end of the week.
Yeah. Now our district,
they do it here too.
So our district this year ended up starting school by the deadline because the middle school principal died over the summer.
Oh, okay.
So they had to rehire, like they had to hire someone else, but also had to give like the district and the teachers and the students and everybody else time to like grieve, and also to like find another person that was like,
did they not
capable
have an assistant principal?
They do, but that doesn't mean that the assistant principal, like just because we have an assistant principal, it's up to them. Every school has an assistant principal, but that doesn't mean that they want to be the principal.
Well, yeah, but they should have been
temporarily.
But
because it happened while school was out,
yeah,
we had time to still find somebody.
Now.
If it had happened like now, I think that they would have just had the assistant principal step in until they could find a
We'll find a new
replacement.
person.
But because it happened, I think it happened it was either June or July. But he was the victim of a drowning accident at Lake Michigan. So he just got swept into the current, and that was it. Like, they were able to recover his body, which is good. But yeah, because of that, school started. The deadline for school to start is the 23rd anyway of August. But they changed the calendar, which I know because we were supposed to start like a week, like last week was how the calendar was originally set up. And then
yeah, because you said that you were starting on the 15th.
Yeah. And that was at the beginning of August, like at the very end of July into the beginning of August. And then it changed because I went in at the end of July to do my August planning. And I was like, oh, this has been changed to the 23rd. So originally, I think we were supposed to start earlier. But then because of whatever, we didn't start until, And they also
we have it weird here, like when they start school back after the summer holidays, like it's like 2 days at the end of the week. There has been times where they've started the school year, and basically they've gone to school one day, then the next day is a public holiday, and then they go.
Well, like, so like what they're
just doing, started after the public holiday.
How what's happened this year is we started today. They got out an hour early, like they would on a Wednesday. Next week, they'll run Monday through Friday, but then every Wednesday they get out an hour early because that's their teacher in-service day. When I was in school, our teacher in-service day was once a month. So there was one, I think it was like the third Wednesday every month we got out early. But in the last like 5-ish years, they've changed it so that it's every Wednesday is an in-service. So the kids get out an hour early, and then the teachers are there until like 7 p.m. or something. So we'll have school all the week next week, regular how it's supposed to be, with Wednesday as an early out day. And then it's Labor Day. So then they get a 3-day weekend because they won't have school on Monday. Yeah.
That was Margaret just realizing that there's a public holiday coming up.
They won't have school.
That was Margaret going, what? The time passes.
They won't have school that next Monday, but then they'll have school Tuesday through Thursday or Tuesday through Friday. And then it's all normal all through September up until I think it's like the second week of October. And then that's the end of the first like quarter or whatever. So they get all their parent, like our first round of parent teacher conferences. We have picture day at the end of September. Like there's a whole thing. Like when I set up my calendars this month or my planner this month, I had to use 2 calendars because I had to use one that is labeled as an RE calendar and one that's labeled as mommy calendar. And the mommy calendar has all of my like YouTube-y stuff on it. And RE's is just school related.
Good Lord.
I tell you, the happiest day ever was the day that I went, you know what, Neroli, the school system is not for you, young lady. You are using your powers for evil. Out. That was like the best day ever. That not having to have all those calendars and try and work around everything. And I don't envy you, Neva. I really don't. But I'm here for moral support if you need it.
I feel bad because we did miss meet the teacher day because I was still not well when Meet the Teacher Day happened.
You've been sick.
And she really wanted to go because, of course, the kids in the neighborhood were like, oh, yeah, it's Meet the Teacher Day. And she came and told me, and it had ended like 30 minutes before she told me. And I told her, I said, Ari, we wouldn't be able to go anyway. Like, Mommy's still not feeling super well or whatever. But she also met her teacher at the end of last year. So her whole thing, and she even said, like, well, I've already met my teacher. I just wanted you to meet her. And I was like, I will meet your teacher at some point, dude. Like, it's not, like, even if the first time I ever meet the woman is when I go in for parent-teacher conferences, like, we have to, like, talk to each other through parent portal and all of that. And then they sent like a whole packet of crap home. I'm like, it's fine. Like we'll be
You'll meet
her. Eventually I will meet your teacher.
Yeah, one of the schools that the primary school that my girls went to, they used to do a transition week at the end of each year. So every class that was moving, the teacher that they were getting the next year would come into their classroom. So the teachers, they'd stay in their classroom, but the teachers would move around, and then they'd have that teacher for 3 or 4 days at the end of the week, and you had the opportunity to go in and meet the teacher and everything before the school year ended, because ours works in a calendar year. It doesn't split like yours does over 2 years. So ours starts in January and finishes in December, and that was really good. Like I really feel like they do it usually with like the kinder kids that are going into first grade and stuff like that. They do that, but this was the whole school. So except for the high school kids, because they also had a high school at their primary school, but it was just a primary school kids. So from prep right up until grade 6, the teachers had come in, they'd get to know their teachers, so they knew who they were getting. And the ones that had 2 teachers, like the composite classes, the 2 teachers would go in and teach them for a week. So when the new year started, there was none of that anxiety for some of the kids that didn't like change and all that sort of stuff. So it was a really good program, and not all schools do that here, but the school they went to did, and I thought it was absolutely fabulous that they did that.
Well, they're trying a new thing this year too with, I don't know, I don't think they're doing it at the middle school. I think it's only the elementary that is doing this, because it only makes sense for it to be the elementary school kids, because once you hit middle school here, so at 6th grade, 6th, 7th, and 8th grade is in the middle school in my town. So once you hit 6th grade, you're in the middle school, and you are moving through classes like you would in high school to transition to high school. So it only makes sense that they would be doing this for the elementary. But this year, for the elementary school kids, they are doing a co-teacher program. So part of the day, they have 2 teachers. So she has her main teacher, and then she has a co-teacher. And that co-teacher, from the schedule that I was given, the co-teacher teaches like 2 different sections of the day, and then the rest of it is her main teacher. But that co-teacher is in the classroom all day. Just not teaching all day. So that's interesting. Also, it's weird to be a parent whose kid's teacher is younger than you by 6 years.
Poor thing.
Because her teacher this year graduated in 2016. I should have graduated in 2010. And I'm pretty sure that, and her principal is also younger than me by 4 years, which I know because when we did the tour last year, when she transferred schools, he was talking about like, oh yeah, I graduated in 2014. No, I guess he's about the same age as me, because I think he graduated from college in 2014.
College, that makes sense.
That would make him about the same age. But I was like looking at him and I was like, are you sure, bro? Because you do not look. I mean, I know I don't look 32 either, but
can I see some ID, sir?
But like for a moment,
I don't believe you.
Now I get it. Why people are like, are you sure that you're 32, dude? Because like I was looking at this guy and I was like, you look like
you need to be carded.
All right. But no, it said on her thing that she graduated from Oskaloosa High School, which is in my town, it's fine, in 2016. And I was like, oh, okay. Yeah, I guess.
Pretty sure we have an Oskaloosa down here too, or something similar.
Florida has Osceola.
We have that. We have something. Hold on. Now I got it.
Act like I know what every town or city in Florida is called, because I don't.
Yeah, I know, and like I feel like I've heard this before. Okay, we have an Okaloosa Island, no S. That's what I'm thinking about.
Everything here is Native American names.
Yeah, I mean we have a lot of those too down here.
So
if you can't pronounce it, it's probably native.
Yeah, so we have like Wapello, we have Mahaska, those are counties. We have Oskaloosa, Ottumwa, Des Moines. Yeah.
My favorite is when people get scared of ones like Kissimmee and like Okeechobee. And I'm like, guys, they're not, they just look scary.
It's funny to me when people say Kissimmee, like Kissimmee, it cracks me up every time they do it. Because the thing is I've met Floridians, like born and raised in Florida, that call it Kissimmee. And I remember somebody saying it and I looked at them and I said, "Do you mean Kissimmee?" And they're like, "No, Kissimmee." And I was like, "No, dude, it's not
Kissimmee.
It's Kissimmee. I promise you that it's Kissimmee." That's what they say literally on the news. So
I have a feeling that might be a regional dialect thing because we have so many regional, like Florida's a long way. We have so many regional dialects.
It might be a regional dialect, but I've definitely heard people in like the Daytona Beach area.
And that gets more up, like you're getting closer as you
to me.
Like Florida's weird in the way that the further north you go, the more southern it gets. And so when you're going up to Daytona Beach and you're getting into redneck country. So it makes sense that they would go Kissimmee.
And you have, and like Daytona is where like all the farmland and crap is. And I'm like, why is there farmland in the middle of the city? Because you'll just be like driving through and all of a sudden there's just like a pasture. And I'm like, what is like going on?
Gainesville's like that. You'll just be walking down the road, cow pasture.
That's the thing. And like I'm from the country. Like everywhere you drive here, like once you get out of town, like out of the town limits, it's just like gravel, dirt, like whatever. Fine. Yeah. Like you're gonna go long stretches where you see farms and stuff. You know what I'm saying? But like in Daytona, it's like you're just driving down the highway and it's normal cityscape, and then all of a sudden you just see this random patch of acreage that's just got cows grazing on it, and then you're like, what the fuck?
So there was one day when
not in Kansas anymore, Tony.
And Gainesville is the size of a postage stamp as far as the city goes. There's the university, and then a little bit of there's a city around it, and then you've got boonies. But we have, because the vet college is there, there's a pasture with cows. And one day the cows got out. So like we had so many people coming into Chick-fil-A going, there's cows just going down Archer Road.
Yeah, Airport Road in Daytona is like that.
Yeah.
So you'll come around and you'll just be driving, and it's just houses, and there's like a school on the other side. It's very city, like very everything close together, and then all of a sudden you just get this like stretch where it's just a cow pasture, and you're like, what the hell? And then you drive like 10 more minutes, and it's back to just like city. It's like a little patch of country in the middle of.
Yeah, they're the people that are held out and wouldn't let the government take their land for.
I'm just like, what is going on here?
We get that here too. Like, you come out of the city and then there's like farmland and all that sort of stuff. Then there's big build up of houses. Then there's all bushland. Then there's. It's very weird how they do it and how they structure it all. Sunray has joined us this morning. Good morning. Alexi was saying about the doctor. He's in his late 60s. He's always looking at me. I'm old enough to be your dad, and I don't have the heart to tell him that he's 20 years older than my dad. So he's old enough to be your grandpa. Good morning. Good morning. But he's a giant teddy bear, hence why we call him Jer. Jaber? Okay, fair enough. But yeah, completely computer illiterate. There you go. Coda dropped in to say hello before heading off to hang out with his nephew. Rhea is coping much better today. It's raining, so it's a good day. Awesome. Everybody's saying hello to Coda. Nicole also joined us as well. Hello, how are you? Thank you for joining. We also have my Geordie joined us as well. And hello to everybody. Happy sprint. No reading for me now, but I'll be editing a video. Awesome. Can't wait to see it. Geordie is new on the booktube scene and introduced herself last week on sprints and hung out with us for a bit. Oh my God, my anxiety is through the roof right now. I've just gone 10 a.m. and I haven't got my 8 a.m. meds. Ooh.
Oh, that's frustrating.
Very much so. I've been saying she'll get them, and now she has just said she's going on a break. Nice. Gotta love those caring nurses. They're just awesome.
Yeah, and I don't know if you were there when Selena told us, but like whoever her nurse is today is just a bitch.
Mm.
So
Yeah, I feel like sometimes weekends you just get the bitchy nurses. Like they're at the end of the week or they're at the end of the shift. Depends when their split shifts happen and when they rotate and all that sort of stuff. But I feel like whenever I've been in a hospital over a weekend, it's just like, who are these people and where did you get them from? They have no empathy whatsoever.
Yep.
That's horrible. Definitely not ethical. Yeah, I'd get the head nurse, but then again, you sort of roll the dice with the head nurse too. That on weekends.
Yep.
So yeah. Ticking clock, impending doom. You'll be right. Just breathe through it. They'll catch you. Just try to calm down. I thought I was.
No, they're talking about the timer. When the timer does
Oh, okay.
the tick, tick, tick at 5 minutes,
Yep.
that's what they're talking about. Yeah.
That's funny.
Just-
I was
just-
like, what? Oh, must have
Yeah.
been
That's what they're talking about because at 5 minutes it goes like
it goes,
tick, tick, tick.
kind of gives you a warning.
yeah.
Which makes sense if you're doing this by yourself.
Yeah, if you're using it as a Pomodoro method, yeah.
Mm-hmm. I don't know how to get rid of it. I don't think you can on this go.
I don't think you can on this one because
I think you have to be a member. Like you have to
activity.
pay to do things. Like
Yeah.
you can't have it as full screen. You can't do certain things and all the rest of it. So yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Selena, I'm sorry. Big hugs. She just brought them in and was like, "Sorry, I thought they gave them to you." Why would you be asking?
She reversed track that quickly.
Oh, she must have heard me crying.
Yeah.
Same as the one. Did Selena? Did you see where Selena was saying that one of them like grabbed hold of her foot? One of the nurses, like the foot that's got all the pain in it, and was just ripping at it, and her grandparents lost their shit.
Because her grandparents were there when the nurse was in there.
I would have lost my shit too. She would have been. She probably wouldn't have been walking. I'd probably be in jail right now if it was me. Like I don't do well when one of my children are hurt. I don't do well at all. I become like this angry bear. Deep breaths, definitely. Made progress on Orbital. We'll be able to finish it tonight if I read it. Too often I just get everything. Do anything else but read, right? I have those moments too, Chris. Don't worry about it. I think we all do. I got to page 209 of 415. It's 50% of the Gilded Ones. How are you liking it? I love this series. It's a good series. I haven't read the third one because I'm prolonging it.
That's understandable.
It's such a good series, absolutely. You liked it too, didn't you, Neva? Yeah. I was so jealous because you got the arc for the third one.
I did, yeah.
I was so jealous. I'm like, I want it, and I could not.
I really do like that series. I actually have those on my shelf too, but I really did like that series.
Reached 86% in the love sequence with Daphne Lee. Nice. You have friends here. That is true. We're all here to help you get through. Finished the 5th season, 3 out of 5. Not convinced I want to finish the series. Story and plot was interesting, but I didn't really like the writing. Weirdly, the second person didn't bother me though. Yeah. That's fair. They're all valid reasons. Did you give up on Anna Green Gables?
Who?
Me? Who?
Me? No.
I've read it like 3 times.
So I read the first.
I couldn't even tell you how many times I've read it. Like I've read it so many times.
Here's the deal with my series. Okay, if I choose to continue series once I've read the first book, they go on the series wheel. So until they come up on my series wheel, they don't get continued. And the reason is because I'm a person who does one of two things. Either I say I'm going to continue a series and then I just never continue them. That's a toxic trait. Or I will binge an entire series and then not touch any other series after I've binged one because I will burn out from binging a series. So the way, go throw it all the way outside. So the way to combat that for me is that every month I spin the series wheel. I will get a series. I will read the next book. in that series. That's why when I got, what was it, the Addicted series, I think in July, I reread Ricochet. I realized as I was reading it that I had already read it, but I needed to reread it anyway because there were bits and pieces of it where I annotated that I remembered, but there were big chunks that if I had moved on to the next book, I would have been confused. So I reread Ricochet and then chose not to read the third book in the series, even though I thought about just continuing with the third book and saying, well, now I've reread what I needed to reread, but now I've officially like moved on in the series. But I chose not to do that because that is a series that I think will suck me in if I continue to read books. So I try to continue a new series every month. So no, I'm not giving up on Anne of Green Gables because I gave that book 5 stars.
Yeah.
And I will never give up on Anne of Green Gables because I've been reading that puppy probably every second year for the last. We're not going to talk how old I am, but anyway, it's been a long time.
Knowing me, once I have a physical copy of it, it will be one of the books that I read to Ari because I think that she will like it. I don't know. I think you went upstairs.
I've read it to all my girls. And they loved it. We used to sit around at lunchtime and just read a chapter or two.
Yeah.
Over a period of time because I'm not great at reading out loud, so I didn't want to, just harm the children and their little psyches from reading or anything.
She's actually old enough that you could probably just read it to her out loud together. Although that might be more stimulation than you want at one time.
Yeah, true. Christina finished chapter 20 and finished supper. I think school started having the first day towards the end of the week to give kids time to adjust, especially the younger ones. It makes sense for the younger ones, especially the ones first time in school. Makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
When I was a kid,
that makes more sense. Like that, the teacher's 2 days to finish setting up and finalize any of that. Yeah.
When I started school in the 1970s, basically what they did, the infants, which is grade, we didn't have prep in the state that I went to school. So it was kinder first, which is, I suppose, is prep first, second, and third was classed as infants schooling. And the kindergarten kids went to school with everybody else a day later, like the main part of school would start. Then we went a day later, but then we'd do 3 half days of the week. So they'd start on a Tuesday, we'd start on a Wednesday, and then did 3 half days. And they did that for a long time in New South Wales. I think even when my son started, they did half days for kinder as well. So yeah. Instead of going no school, suddenly 40 hours of school in 1 week, all in one go.
Here kindergarten is, I think, full days. But preschool, you can choose to either send your kid 5 days a week or send them 3.
Yeah.
And if they get sent 3 days a week, then it's like Monday, Wednesday, Friday. But on but they're like, today they didn't start because they got out an hour early. So they won't. So the preschoolers won't actually start until Monday.
I have no idea what this is about, but it's for you.
I have no idea what this is about either. I don't know that I care enough to look.
Not as a Tia by the looks of it. Is that what actually happened?
I heard something to that extent, but
I have not heard anything about that, so I have no idea.
Yeah.
I haven't heard about it either. No reading for Jean, just eating dinner. I keep getting the story in my Instagram feed. Well, there you go. Like coming back, got distracted by shorts. Didn't do any setup for my video, but I did do laundry. Awesome. It's a little bit weird if that is the case. Hello, Gabby. Thank you for joining. Appreciate you being here. Reading Babel for Pick Pongathon at almost 400 pages in. It's a bit of a slog. Hopefully we can help you get it finished. Hey there to Gabby. Sending hugs to Saluna. I feel like my family has caused enough drama in the last couple of days of my grandparents nearly getting into a punch-up with a nurse and then the head nurse. Oh, my goodness. It's all happening in the hospital. We've had a few words where we can tell if the speaker is local. Uinta, a Taihon, and Uray. Look at me go. Thank you, Jamie. Because I wouldn't have got any of those. Show up in street names in several places. Well, there you go. I wouldn't have got any of them, just saying. And with that, we're going to pause there and go straight into a sprint. See you all in an hour. Well, hello. We're back. Neva's just putting Ari to bed, so she will be back soon. So yeah, how did everybody go? I am halfway through my book. I love this story. I forgot how much I love this story. Ooh, like she just found, well, essentially her cousin, and yeah, she's singing him a song in Hindustani, I think it's called, and yeah, and he's just like, she's realizing that yeah, just all the things. I love it. I absolutely love this. I forgot how much I actually love it, and it also is bringing back a lot of memories for me as well, because this was probably one of the first classics that my grandmother gave me, and like just the little things in here about the fairies and all that sort of stuff, and like you see a fairy wren and the birds and all that sort of stuff. I think like this was probably the catalyst that gave me the love for nature that I have. So yeah, it's bringing back some nice memories. I love it when that sort of stuff happens. All right, let's have a look where we left off. We left off with Rhea saying, I've gone to Aldi during the last sprint, so no reading, but got a few things for dinner tonight. Pasta and pasta sauce, nice. Yummo. I feel sad for kindergarten now. I only went half days all school year, and now they have to do full days right off the bat. Yeah. It is tough for the little guys when they go, but they get used to it pretty quick these days too. So I also got my favorite cracker snacks. Nice. Just saw the video of the principal and the lap dance. Oh my god. So it is a thing. Oh my god. Hello to Glenda from Gabby. Asked the replacement nurse while my nurse was on her break to give me a huge cup of coffee to help my anxiety calm down. Cool. Hopefully she brought it to you, Saluna. Sorry, I was in the midst of getting dinner and finally settled in for real. Awesome. What do you did you say what you were reading, Gabby? Do let us know. I'm actually having an absolute fabulous day with my book today. After I'm finished this, I'm going to do a arc that I've been waiting for that came in from the Listen Now. So I'm excited to get that done today as well. I've got a bit of stuff to do around the house other than washing floors or doing washing, because I can't do that because the water's still red. That'll take a couple of days. It usually takes about 3 or 4 days when it happens. So they've obviously, one of the old pipes has cracked, and they've been slowly but surely replacing everything. So when it happens, and they've been narrowly said that they were letting off the fire hydrants down Haley Street, so that should clear us up pretty quickly. Jamie says, one of the favourite parts of Nicole's sprints is the 5-minute warning clock. It's like saying, hey, you know you were trying to finish something in this hour. I like it too, because I have the earbud, but I don't necessarily watch the screen. Like, I'll be on other different screens, and it just gives me that reminder while I'm doing stuff. We have a street called Australia Ave up in the Central Coast. It's funny to how some places are named. Yeah, very much so. I always wish everyone had a 5-minute warning, especially for longer sprints. Yeah, especially with the cat one, because the cat one always scares the crapper out of me. I don't know, probably because I have cats. And I know it's like triggered my cats as well when they've been sitting on the bed with me, and I've been like on someone's sprints in the comments, and then the cat, and like I don't have the earbud in because it's on my tablet or whatever, and the cats are like ready to pounce basically. So yeah. Just coming in to say hi and to hug the like button. Thank you, Sue. Hopefully you're having a good day. Hello and welcome in. Hello, lots of hello still. Getting my video filmed, and told myself I wasn't going to edit it tonight, but I'm editing. I do exactly the same thing. I'm not going to do this, and then I end up doing it, and I don't even know why I say I'm not going to do it, because I end up doing it anyway. I just go with the flow, I say. Good morning, Deb. How are you? Thanks for being here. What are you reading today? You still reading Green Rider? Or have you finished that? I think Coda started Green Rider 4 yesterday. I'm starting it on Monday because I've got a few things to get finished. Bethany is just sitting down to read Fires of Heaven. Got a chapter and a half done since I joined it 30 minutes ago. After I finish this chapter, I'm switching to Wisconsin's, that vamp. There we go. It wasn't going to come out, sorry. Don't know what was coming out then. We finished a chapter. Now I'm watching one episode of Vampire Diaries before the son has to go to bed. Nice. Sue's reading A Bear, a motorcycle club book. Nice. I had some breakfast and got to page 70. Awesome. Of Diary of a Young Girl. We'll probably take a break and walk the dog in the next sprint. Awesome. You're making me want to read again. Oh, do read it. It's so good. Like, I don't know why you wouldn't want to read it. I actually don't know why I've waited so long to read this again. Like this, and I think the next one I'm going to read is Black Beauty. And like I remember, like, when my grandmother, she didn't give me this copy obviously, but when she gave me a copy of this book, and I watched the movies, and I remember one that I watched was in black and white, so I don't know who was in that one. I'm just trying to think who was in it. I can't think who was in it though. And, you know, like, just even like all the TV shows that I watched around there, and some of the kids' books where the kids were from India and stuff like that, that could have even been the obsession, because I love all things Indian. So, yeah, like I like thinking back and reading this, and I'm like, oh my God, you know, there's just so many things that I've watched and read over the years that have been, like, the children have been, you know, their parents have passed away or whatever the case may be, but they were in India and then they've gone back to England, and how much of a gloomy place it was, which also probably didn't help with me never wanting to visit England until now. So yeah, but I just little things that are popping into my mind as I'm reading it. It's just like, oh, well, that's probably where that love of that came from, and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, read it again. It's just going to give you the warm and fuzzies. What can I say? I'm so glad you're enjoying yourself, rediscovering a childhood favorite. I've read it to the girls on that, but I want to say that Neroli might have been about 2 or 3, because prior to that she wouldn't sit still for you to read a book to her. So she would have been 2 or 3, and I was reading to them during lunch. I used to do Anna Green Gables and a lot of my childhood books, and that I used to read to them as well. So read more. I've got all the responsibilities out of the way. I can finally read during the next sprint, either a wishing game or icebreaker. I know if Neva was here, she'd say read icebreaker. I'm going to say wishing game. That probably didn't help at all. Flip a coin. Had my coffee, played some Animal Crossing to calm myself down. I am probably going to have a lunch sprint as it's nearly 12, and my silly has given me 12 o'clock meds at 11, so I just have had them. Oh God, sitting here, go away, bug. Sitting here waiting for lunchtime. Bring me my meds 2 hours late and 1 hour early. Oh my goodness. You're having a bit of a run of bad luck today, by the sounds of it, Selena. What is the arc you just got? I still wish publishers would just send you stuff. It was one that I've been waiting for. It's book 4 in the Ghosted series by Sarah Reedy. It's not up your alley at all, Chris. It is a contemporary romance, and it's the 4th in series, and they've all been read it now and listen now, and I got the read it now a couple of weeks ago, but I haven't had a chance to read it. So the audio came online this week, so I grabbed the audio. So I'm going to mercifully read it this afternoon. I'm going to do a couple of things around the house. I'm going to finish this, though, today. And then once I'm finished, I've only got 170 pages to go. So I should finish this by the end of our sprints. And, yeah, and then basically I will then move on to that once I've done a few things. So, yeah, which I'll be listening to so I can still do stuff and all that sort of stuff. Listen to a podcast and an audiobook. That sprint. I'm liking audiobooks lately. That's good. Glad you're liking them. I've been doing assignments for a crisis text line, and I'm retraining right now so I can be one of their counselors again. Awesome. It's excellent. Lovely. That's good work that you do there. So speaking of 5-minute warning, which I do like, do we get to go back to the Cackling Witch in September, or do we have to wait till October? Ooh, interesting. I might have to relook at my Cackling Witch. I will go back to those timers most definitely. We probably will do it while we're reading Practical Magic. This is probably a thing that's going to happen, but I will put the 5-minute warning in there with the ticking. So still reading Green Rider 3, just so we still have that 5-minute warning. So I'll just revamp those and yeah, and then we can go from there. Remember to hydrate. Thank you, Nightbot, for the reminder. I'm definitely hydrating. Show some love to the like button, please. And be sure to subscribe to my friends on screen as well. And the playlist is underneath this video if you're looking for it. The 1987 version is on YouTube, by the way. And I think the one of black is too. The black and white version probably is. So yeah, I don't think I ever read literature that would have been considered for children. I was a Jackie Collins and Agatha Christie from an early age. Probably says a lot about me. I love a good Jackie Collins. She knows how to write a good saucy book. It has all the things happening in them. Oh, what are you talking about, Christina? I'm not too sure. I want to read romances, but I can't stand when adult characters have to behave like children to make the romance book work. I think it would be better if the romance characters had more maturity. Okay, so Cicada Springs. I think it is actually a read it now, listen now on NetGalley, on the US one anyway. It's called Cicada Spring. And there is a little bit of red flagging with one of the partners and all that sort of stuff in it, but it is a romance of a 40, I want to say she's 48, and her kid's just gone off to school and whatnot. So yeah, maybe try that one. I vote for the Cackling Witch. Yeah, I will. And the unannounced time, so you'll scare us, is fun. It still scares people anyway. So the Secret Garden movies is what Christina was talking about, Jane. How'd you go? Did you get her to bed?
Yeah, I had to just yell at her to turn off all the damn lights. The whole room was lit up. Okay. It's fine. All right. Good night. So yeah, she's in.
So we're going to go into another sprint anyway.
That's fine. Yeah, she's in. She's in the bed. I did get a couple more chapters read. Cool. So I'll keep plugging away at this. I take a shower and then I put her to bed. So
cool. All right. Well, on that note, we're going to go to another sprint and then we'll have a little 10-minute chatty bit at the end to wrap things up and move on to the next person, if that's all right with you. Because I have a Narrowly on this side wanting to talk to me, so I sort of got to go. All right. See you all in an hour. Happy reading, everyone. Oh, hello. We are back. How'd you go, Neva?
I did not read because my eyes started to hurt, so I was like, we'll take a break. So I planned instead.
Cool. How'd you go, Margaret?
All right, I finished making dinner and I ate dinner, and now I'm going back and forth with some people about the just chatting about the St. Martin's Press thing that they put out today and how that might affect things.
Did they put anything positive out?
They haven't put anything out yet. I'm hoping that they will. I mean, it happened right at the weekend, and there's still like stuff that they have to do behind the scenes, talking with all the people that are in charge of the boycott and like not catching up, like confirming different things and making sure everyone's on the same page. So I can understand how like that it might take till Monday for us to get something, just because people have schedules and they're working with multiple different people.
That's fair. And happening on the weekend makes it a little bit harder to.
St. Martin's Press said something. We just haven't heard anything from Readers Accountability.
Yeah, we haven't heard anything from Readers for Accountability. At this point, it appears they have met, from my eyes, that they've met the demands of the boycott. But I'm not the person that's in charge of the boycott. I'm not the ones that are sitting there making that have sat down. And so it's like, this is something that happens with every boycott and strike. If for anyone who's not aware, like they have to sit down and go, okay, this is what they're saying. And does this meet to our satisfaction, what they're saying? There are a couple of things in there that I could see them making it a point that, hey, you didn't actually meet the letter of this, but I personally feel like they met the spirit of it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense. Well, do keep us updated so we know what's going on. Where was I? I have no idea where I was up to. I think this is where I was up to. I need to pick which audiobook to start. The Secret Garden and A Little Prince are some of my childhood favorites. Nice. I have the Little Princess, isn't it? I've got that one as well, I think. Or The Little Prince. Prince and the Pauper. I don't know. I've got one of them. Anyway. 1987 version is an adult. And the 2020 version, he had him as Archibald Craven. Well, there you go. Who's going to be the next person? This is the next stop, which is in 5 minutes. So we're going to burn through these pretty quickly. And here's the playlist for those that are wondering. Hello, Courtney. Thank you for joining. We're now moving on to...
The next person is Amy from A Star Read. So it's going to be Amy. Right. It's going to be on Amy's channel. And then Paige is a co-host for it. So it's Amy from A Star Reads and Paige from Pages with Paige.
Cool. Awesome. Sarah's saying hello to everybody. Still listening to my audio book, but also made some tea. Courtney's gone off to bed. Have worked all weekend. I'm tired. That's fair enough. Brooklyn is still at work. Can't wait to get home. Adulting just sucks, right? I did write 2 reviews while here, so that was productive. Awesome. Glenda saying hello. And 2 books, read 2 books today. Finished Bear Temple MC1 and Crime and Poetry and #1, and listening to Wandering Stars now. Excellent. You're having a very productive reading day today. Hey friends. Hey Jess, how are you? Got home from my indie book thingy. Bought 4 books because why not? Jess was having trouble with her keyboard there. Going to continue with lessons in chemistry, which I want to finish by tomorrow. That was a good book. I really enjoyed that book when I read it. I got about half the video edited. Awesome. No worries, Jean. Thanks for being here. Got the younger one into bed, finished another row and trying to decide if we're good to go to bed or stay up and watch something. That was the lunch sprint, and the nurse came in and asked if I'd had a shower, and I said I couldn't because the bathroom hadn't been set up. Well, hopefully you can have a shower soon. That'll probably make you feel a bit better as well. And thank you to you too, Christina, for being here and helping out with all the things and reminding everybody of everything. Thank you, Chris, and thank you, Jess. So yeah, we're going to end here and head over to Amy's. I've got to go and get some cat food before my cats eat me. They just every time I walk out to the kitchen, the three of them are at the door just glaring at me as if to say, "Where's me food?" So I've got to go and get that. So have a great sprint. I don't know if I'll be back on screen today, but maybe a bit later on tonight. That'll see how I go. Have a great day, everybody. And of course, we will see you somewhere on the interweb. And I'll see you soon. Bye.
Bye.